Welcome to the ah, welcome to the Draft Nut Podcast live with myself, Jared Feinberg, and Devin Jackson. We are here to give you guys not a seven round. We're not going to go that far. That'll take us all night and into tomorrow. We're not going to do that. We are going to do a 30. It's been a long day. We are going to do a one-round mock draft for the 2022 NFL Draft. This is our first mock draft of the whole entire process. We've watched all the prospects. I mean, I'm not sure about the both of us. I mean, I know a lot of people have, but we've done our work on prospects. We've started to work on big boards. We're starting to really get things going for the regular season. So we want to give you guys a mock draft to show you, just to give you guys an idea of who are some of the big names for the 2022 draft class. So, Devin, you're ready to do this, my man?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's get right into it, and because it's definitely gonna take a while to get through all 32 teams, for sure. But yeah, let's get through it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let me go ahead and pull up. Oh, that's the wrong. Here we go. Here we are. So, I'm not 100% sure. So I mean, here are all the prospects. We can also go down a little bit further to get some of our guys. I know Sean Ryan, my OT2, is the Draft Network's 98th overall prospect here in the TDN rankings. So I mean, it's going to be a little bit different for them instead of our rankings. So we're just going to do our best here. So let's get started with this mock draft. Round 1, pick 1. I think we know what position they'll probably go with, but do we stick with Rattler here, or do we make a very interesting pick here instead of just Spencer Rattler at 1?
So with the Texans, I think that ultimately depends on how Deshaun Watson's legal situation plays out. I think.
Right.
So I think we have to kind of make that decision right now. Are we going to pick this pick under the mindset that his situation has been cleared, or are we going to pick it as in he's done with the team and they're going to trade him, or they've already traded him? So for you, how do you want to kind of approach this?
I want to approach this to where, like you were saying, I am assuming, whatever goes on with Watson on the legal side, if that ends up somehow getting sorted out, I don't know if it will. If it does get sorted out and he does end up getting traded next offseason, then I expect him to take a quarterback. And honestly, I think as long as Spencer Rattler continues to play consistent football, makes less errors with the football, I think he'll end up being either the number 1 pick or being the first quarterback off the board. So since the Texans are currently the favorites, the odds-on favorite right now to have the number 1 pick for the 2022 draft based on the Super Bowl odds, we're going to go with Spencer Rattler. You go with that?
Yeah, we can go with him. I was just making sure, if we're going to take him, that's kind of what we want to do in terms of, how we want to play it. But yeah, that pick is fine with me, man.
Yeah. I think, Rattler would be going to arguably still the worst team in football. next year, assuming he gets drafted number one. There's no guarantee, of course, he even is in next year's draft, because I mean we're all assuming these prospects are going to be declaring for the draft. But there will be a few prospects that we will see end up going on to forego the NFL draft next season. So we'll just have to really keep an eye on plenty of these redshirt sophomores, true juniors, just to see what they end up doing. So Detroit now has the second overall pick. Let's go back to some of the options here. I'm intrigued to take a quarterback here, but right now I think Rattler at the moment is more deserving of being a top 5 pick, just off his talent alone. I'm leaning defensive player here. That's where I'm leaning.
To me, go ahead.
Either Thibodeau, Stingley, or Hamilton. Those are my 3 options here. And honestly, I do not know who to go with, because I don't think you can really go wrong at the moment with either Thibodeau, Hamilton, or Stingley. Could you throw DeMarvin Leal in there? Maybe. I'm not there yet. But the other 3 names I mentioned, Thibodeau, Stingley, Hamilton, I mean, those are the top defensive players and arguably the top 3 players in this draft class. So who do you want to go with? Thibodeau, Stingley, Hamilton?
So I'm looking at the roster for the Lions, and right now, I mean, they've put in a lot of capital already to their cornerback position, right? So they got Okuda last year. This year they got Fitu Melifamu. Still got Armani Oruwariye, who they got a couple years ago. And then I believe they're going to have Nickel Roby Coleman play nickel position for them. So to me, I think that they're okay at corner. So I would probably go Kayvon Thibodeau. I see on the roster they have Trey Flowers, they got Aquara, Julian Aquara, and then Charles Harris. But when you got a talent like Thibodeau, I think you should go with him. Stingley is going to be hard to pass up, but I think because of how much capital they've already put in, the cornerback position in the last few years, I wouldn't say it's not why it wouldn't be wise, but I think they need to have that go get them pass rusher. Their defense is already solid, but having him on that team will elevate them. And you got to give some of those corners time to develop as well.
Yeah, I think Thibodeau, if he develops a little bit more of a pass rush counter, he is going to be arguably the best defensive player in this draft class, maybe the best player overall in this draft class. Just because of how talented and how good he is already. I think he could definitely get better, and I do believe he can get better. So I think Thibodeau would be the right pick here at 2. I think he's the best player available. He'll be a future star on the Detroit Lions defense that they really haven't had on that side of the ball since Ndamukong Suh. So getting Thibodeau here at 2 would be great for Detroit. Okay, now we're with Cincinnati, the 3rd pick. It'd be a big disappointment if Cincinnati was once again picking here in the top 5, much less the top 3, much less the top 5. They have to address the offensive line position. I think they absolutely have to address the offensive line. position, at least the interior defensive line position, or any of those spots. Really, the whole offensive line, or you could go
Yeah, so this
defense, or looking at offensive tackles here. I know Kirkland's my OT1. I haven't gotten to Neal just yet. I am going to get to him this weekend. Of course, you got Sean Ryan, who is a favorite among some around draft Twitter. Yet he hasn't had a lot of hype around him so far this throughout the summer scouting. So where are you at here with Cincinnati at 3?
So this one's a tough one because all the tackles that are worthy of that type of pick are left tackles. They have Jonah Williams at left tackle right now.
Yeah.
And we're seeing with Penei Sewell that the transition from left tackle to right tackle isn't easy, right? So this one is a little bit tougher because I don't want to take a left tackle just for the sake of saying we're having a tackle. You want to have a plan in place for what happens. So that's why I'm kind of leading Jackson Kirkland to be picked here.
Okay.
Because I think he has some versatility. And this is a little bit tough because the Bengals, interior offensive linemen really don't go this high. This is not, they don't have that type of.
Unless you're Quentin Nelson,
Right. So this one's a little tough. Let me think about it some more because there's really no interior defensive lineman you would take this early. That's not really till the late first round.
If Cincinnati was picking in this area, I would feel much more comfortable taking Linderbaum here, but they're picking 3, so you're.
Let's, for the sake, say somebody wants to.
Just lost the mock draft. Wow.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. We only made 2 picks, but let's say for the sake of this mock that someone wants to trade with them. Because I don't think right now in their current position that any player on the board is going to be able to plug in and play somebody real quick, like right now.
I don't know if I want to do trades though in this mock.
True. That's fair.
Because this is the first mock draft of us. This is the first 7-round mock draft that both of us have really done so far in this process, and we're just trying to get people to know these names and trying to keep an eye on these names throughout the season. So I'm not there yet with trades. Once the process really starts to get going next in the off season, then we can start doing trades. But right now I think we'll stick with just making the picks, so we may end up having to reach here. Which I don't have a problem with.
Yeah, so you tell me what your thoughts are on who you think should be selected. Because, to me, it's probably Sean Ryan or Jackson Kirkland because they both have, I believe, inside-out versatility in terms of if you need to move them inside or move them a little bit more. Because, for me, I feel like if you're going to take Evan Neal, he needs to be your left tackle, right?
Yeah. You need to hope he works on his balance issues at left tackle. He really improves in that area. That's what you're hoping for with Neal. So for me, I'd rather go with the versatile, technically refined offensive tackle in Jackson Kirkland. He was one of my favorite studies throughout this draft class so far, and he reminds me a little bit of Sam Cosmi from last year. I think he's more sound than Cosmi, but he's got that similar build at the moment. But I really like Kirkland here for Bengals, even though this could be a reach at the moment, but probably once we reach December or January, this may not be as big of a reach as we think it is right now. So I'd like to stick with Kirkland here.
Sounds good. I'm on board with that.
All right. New York Jets, 4th pick in the draft. They got some needs. They got their top 2 needs right now are cornerback and edge. They just lost Carl Lawson for the season. I definitely think cornerback should be on the table here. I think that should be it. I think it should be a no-brainer. I think Derek Stingley should be the pick here.
Yeah.
Because they
I agree.
need a corner.
I agree.
If they just don't take a corner here, I mean, you can still take one round 2 because this is such a deep class. I mean, you look at all these names, guys. All these names may have some either first round hype one way or another. Like these 5 guys, these 5-6 guys here, all have first round hype. Especially Stingley, Booth, Garner, Elam, McDuffie, Kendrick. Like there's so many good names on this list. So I want to go with Derek Stingley here, who is currently tied with Andrew Booth for my highest grade at cornerback so far this process. So now we're with the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence seems to have gotten this team better according to this mock draft, but they still have a lot of work to do. Cam Robinson is playing on the franchise tag. If he doesn't really play to expectations, he's probably going to be gone. I don't know if Juwan Taylor would be willing to move from right to left. I doubt that will happen. We also need to see improvement from Taylor this season. And if we don't see that, then we're going to have to look at offensive tackle on both sides, at left and right tackle. So could this be a spot where they take Evan Neal? Could they take Kyle Hamilton here as well to really shore up that secondary and have a franchise player on that back end? Or do they go with DeMarvin Leal to have that versatility and presence on that front 4?
For me, I think I would probably go Kyle Hamilton because I think you're going to be able to plug and play him pretty much anywhere. And they're expecting Andre Cisco to really kind of grow in a role, and he's shown that he could play that free safety role, kind of be that center fielder. And then you putting Hamilton, who is more of a I don't want to say chess piece because I feel like that's a little bit overused, but you can put them all over the field. You can have them at the line of scrimmage, in the box, matched up one-on-one with players in the slot, tight ends. And in that particular division, you kind of need someone that can do that. Playing the Titans, playing the Colts, the Texans, generally in the AFC, there's a lot of really good tight ends. So I think getting Kyle Hamilton on the Jaguars would be the smartest move here, only because I don't know. It's kind of the same situation with taking a left tackle. Like, you don't know if Cam Robinson is going to play well enough, and then all of a sudden you're trying to move a guy. And like I said, I just keep going back to the Penei Sewell thing because you don't move. That's a tough situation because because people are like, yeah, he can play either side, but you don't know until he has to play it. You got to see him play. But so I would say Kyle Hamilton is a pick here.
Yeah, for the sake of this mock draft, and honestly to keep it less complicated, I think we should go Hamilton. He is arguably the best player on the board, even though it may not say it on TDN's predictive board here. I think Hamilton would be the right pick here. Just because of their big need in the secondary, and they're probably going to continue to get torched on that back end as long as they don't have a consistent safety on that end. So we're going to go with Kyle Hamilton. All right. Eagles. I
will say, yeah, I was about to say, if they're picking this high,
it's
you got to get a quarterback. You're not number 6 for no reason.
So for the sake of this mock draft, I kind of would. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how. Well, we haven't really seen what this Eagles offense looks like just like overall scheme wise, and what type of players they want, and what type of offense they really truly play. I assume it would be very similar to Indianapolis. I could see either Sam Howell, Matt Corral, or Malik Willis here. Honestly, because of the hype around Howell, and if he somehow ends up improving in Phil Longo's offense, I think I would like Howell here. I think he's a really quick learner. He has a good understanding of the current playbook right now, with North Carolina, as it's been reported lately in like interviews. Like he's like got the whole playbook down. He's really like he can be the offensive coordinator on the field, like playing on the field. So I'm comfortable taking Howell here, unless you want to go with a different quarterback.
Yeah, I think Howell should be the pick here. Only other player I would have said is maybe Malik Willis.
Yeah.
But I think right now that's a bit of a reach. He's just not there in terms of mentally. The physical tools are there, but mentally he's not there. So I don't know if I would take him that high.
Yeah. So now you got not the Eagles, you got the Falcons here. They're picking this high again this year, or this. Yeah, if they're picking high again this year, it should be a quarterback. But would you be reaching here?
Yeah, but but teams reach on quarterbacks all the time. So right. I think right now, this means that Matt Ryan is pretty much on the last year or two with the Falcons at this point. They still got a lot of holes on defense, so we don't have to go quarterback here. But if you're picking a top 10 and you have an aging quarterback, it's probably best to pick a quarterback. Obviously they got some needs of receiver, but the receiver pretty much this class is going to be stacked enough where you can get somebody good in the second or third round to be a starter. So I'm not really too worried about receiver. So to me, I think it comes down to it's either a quarterback or it's an edge. And I don't know how many times they can pick in the top 10, top 15.
I think with the opportunity you have in front of you to take a quarterback in the top 10, I mean, you got to take it. Josh Rosen just signed with them. He's not going to be their future. I know some people are still going to try to latch on to some hope, but it's false hope. Rosen's not going to be anyone's future. He's going to be a backup for the rest of his career if that ends up being the case. So you got to take a quarterback here. So I wouldn't mind Carson Strong. I mean, I like Strong a lot. Definitely not going to go with Desmond Ridder. That's final.
Yeah, to me, it comes down to two guys because I'm thinking of Arthur Smith's system, and it's predicated on a lot of rollouts, a lot of bootleg action, a lot of that. So to me, it comes down to Corral or Willis, in my opinion, because I like Carson Strong. I think he's more of he needs an offense that's not really predicated on that, right. not predicated. Mm-hmm. So to me, I would say Malik Willis, I think, could be the pick here because I feel like they're wanting to have someone that has that mobility, has that kind of dual threat to them. And Corral has some of that, but I think teams will fall in love with Willis's ability to you know, create out of structure
Right.
and do all those type of things, and I think that would probably be my pick. You can disagree or choose who you want to choose,
I,
but
I'm I think I'm fine taking Willis here, honestly. And for since it's like first mock draft we're doing, of course, I don't want to I don't want to think about it too long, because we got stuff going on tomorrow, of course. And also it's the first mock draft. There's really no reason to really dig in super deep on each of these picks. But yeah, I'm with you here. I think Willis would be a nice pick here just because of his mobility and his experience in Hugh Freeze's offense, in terms of rollouts, action plays, um, being able to use his legs a ton, and just his overall talent. He's still raw. I do expect improvement, though, in year two, in Hugh Freeze's offense. I'm really excited to see what Willis can do for Liberty and what he will do this season. So we're going to go over Willis here. So the Raiders, if they're picking here, quarterback could be an option again, but at the same time, I think you still have plenty of defensive talent here. I wouldn't mind taking DeMarvin Leal here. Wouldn't mind taking Drake Jackson, Kira Elam, Andrew Booth, um, maybe even Brandon Joseph. Maybe take a really good talent in Brandon Joseph. But I really like these two options: Leal, Jackson, Elam, Booth. Those are my top options here for Las Vegas.
So for me, I think it's Drake Jackson or Leal. That should be the pick here. I think similar to the Lions, they put in some capital on the cornerback position, safety position as well. They got two safeties that will probably be future starters, and Trayvon Merrick as well as Tyree Gillespie. And still their safety room is incredibly stacked. Because I just pulled up the roster, but I'm gonna go that they're gonna pick Drake Jackson. It feels like that will be a Raiders pick, in my opinion.
I'm with you there. I think Jackson would definitely be a Raiders type pick because the Raiders don't run a lot of stand-up rusher type stuff for Jackson, but Jackson has had experience with his hand in the dirt. But I think Jackson would definitely be a Raiders type pick here. So yeah, let's go with Jackson. New York. We just took the best edge off the board for them. Here are the available edges. Karlaftis, Sanders, just to name some of the options here. Interior offensive line is a need for them. Could go with a tight end, maybe reach here. I don't know if you'd reach this high. Maybe a linebacker, but I don't know if you'd reach there. You could take a receiver, or you can go best player available, and Dave Gilman's like, Hawk Molly's, baby, let's go get DeMarvin Leal.
I think BPA. Because you don't want to reach on interior offensive line. Plus, they have another pick and a couple picks anyway. They got pick 11. So I would say BPA and pick Leal.
Yeah. So this will piss off a lot of people, but it is what it is. It's the first mock draft. We don't care. We don't care at all. We don't care. So let's go with Leal. All right, my Carolina Panthers.
I'll let you make this one.
Ooh. Why'd you put the pressure on me? Damn it. I hate you.
I don't think the pick is going to be it's one. I think it's really one or the other. Because the needs the offensive line needs some TLC, man. Needs some TLC big time. So like I said, I'll let you make the pick. This is your team. I'm just saying. I I have a feeling I know where you're gonna go, but you could you got a lot of your guys on this board still. So I don't know. You might go another different way too.
I'm just going to look through here and make a pick, and we're going to move on. And I'm going to let Panther fans just destroy me for whatever I do. So, Jarrett, they're picking in the top 10. If they're picking in the top 10, they got to take a quarterback.
Who was that I see? Who's the pick?
Mr. Sean Ryan.
Yeah, I figure you might go that way. All right. Giants back on the board.
The Panthers really do need offensive linemen. I don't care who's that quarterback. They need to take an offensive lineman. Hell, if they decide to trade for another quarterback again next year, they got to protect the offense. They got to protect them.
Yeah.
I don't think Cam Erving is going to be your future starter for the next several years to come. He's already failed,
Yeah.
A failed experiment. So, I mean, I got to go with
all right. So this pick here, the Giants, we talked about versatility. I think now you can start to justify picking interior offensive linemen or picking guys that could move down the interior offensive line because they desperately need help in the interior for the Giants. And to me, they're clearly bought in that Daniel Jones is still their quarterback at this point since we didn't pick a quarterback. So I think the pick here should be, and this one is, and it's tough because I don't want to see this guy slide, but I think just based on how our thought process, I think you go with either Darian Kennard or Kenyon Green for the Giants. And I know people are like, Evan Neal, there's no way he's sliding. I just don't know.
There's too many question marks at the moment.
Yeah, there's still question marks about his game. There's still a bit of a projection in terms of where he will be. And we saw, people comparing to like Mekhi Becton. We saw Becton fall, to the teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I think the two guys that I would either choose for them.
So you think Kennard is interior, correct?
Yeah. I think he's not going to be a tackle the next time. He's just way too. He doesn't have enough foot speed to be a tackle. Yeah. Then Green, I think Green is playing tackle this year, but he has tape at guard. So it depends on which one.
I like Kennard.
You would rather.
I think you gotta go with hog mollies, baby. You gotta go with them. You gotta get them big boys up front. Gotta protect old Daniel Jones and his 20 turnovers per year. Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Man, sorry, Giants fans, but I mean, just letting y'all know.
I'm just saying, if they get that draft, I mean, they got two pretty good players. Yeah, it's two pretty good players.
Arizona. I think this is where Neal could stop falling. No.
Yeah, I think it doesn't say they have a need, but I'm looking up their roster real quick just to see if they have a reliable left tackle, And right now it's DJ Humphries. Man, sending that pick to Neal, man. No disrespect to DJ Humphries, but I think you need to upgrade that offensive line. They got Rodney Hudson already. You got Josh Jones that they picked last year, who's probably going to be at right tackle for them, still building up. But I'm taking Evan Neal. I know what the needs say, but I'm trumping those needs, man. You need that cornerstone left tackle. I think that's where a slide stops.
Yep. I want to go quarterback here with Washington. I really do. Corral's the best quarterback on the board here. I really like Corral. really want to go here, or we can go safety. Brandon Joseph is still on the board. You know, there are definitely options here. But yeah,
I'm under the assumption if they're picking in the teens, they gotta address that quarterback situation. You can only get so many. Yeah, you can only get so many 1-year rentals. You can only get so many veteran guys come in play for a year. This team needs a young guy to come in. So I will be in agreement that they need quarterback more than anything, because the safety class is pretty deep in my opinion as well. Yeah. So I would be under the mindset that you pick a quarterback, and Corral would be just fine with me. Yeah,
Matt Corral with Scott Turner. That's going to be a good match. I like that match a lot. Oh, man. Poor Pittsburgh. Just missing out.
Yeah. Hold on here.
Will Hayden is aging. You definitely need to address the cornerback position. Offensive line is definitely somewhere you need to address. You go with a Kenyon Green or a Tyler Linderbaum. You go with the Zion Johnson. Or do you go Cure Elam, Ahmad Garner, Andrew Booth, Trent McDuffie, Darren Kendrick? There's plenty of options here.
Yeah, they're a tough team to pick for, because I think the only quarterback I would take for them right now is Carson Strong. I think that's really the only quarterback left that makes sense for their style of offense and just the mold that they have. So I think if they went quarterback, I think that will be the direction they go. There's really no tackles right now, I think, in this area that I would say you pick right now.
Yeah.
And their interior, they have Kevin Dotson, Trey Turner, they just got as well. So I don't know what their plans would be. Like Dotson, I think would be fine. Trey Turner is still kind of up in the air in terms of interior. But yeah, like you said, corner, I mean,
you still got plenty of guys. I mean, you took Stingley at 4. You still got a lot of the top corners available. Yeah,
I would go corner. I think corner should be the pick here.
Booth or Elam?
I don't know, man. Personally, I like Gardner a little bit better, but I think Elam would fit more of their measurables. Yeah. So I think Elam.
Yeah, Elam is 6'2", 193. I mean, that size is, yeah, I agree. Let's go Elam. All right. Vikings. 4-0. He's probably not.
I know exactly who I want to pick for them. I know exactly who. It got to be Brandon. Nah, I want Brandon Joseph for him, man.
Oh, that's smart.
I think they gotta address that safety position.
Yep.
It's got to be addressed, and he's the best safety right now on the board still. So you got to get him while it's hot.
They're able to find someone that's like Kirk Cousins and doesn't want to get vaccinated. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now this one is going to cause controversy.
Oh yeah.
So this is the one that we should be worried about, if any of them, because that quarterback conversation and the team on Mile High. I'm not even going to say the name of the team. I don't want to get dinged by it. But anytime you talk about
loaded, man. Holy.
They're literally a quarterback away from being a legit AFC contender, man. Honestly, I don't even want to look at defense right now for them. To me, it's either you're picking offensive line because you think Drew Lock is it, or you're picking a quarterback. I think it's one or the other at this point, because Like
let's
the
go
safety
over the.
position, they just picked up a few guys, later round guys. I think they had Caden Stearns and Jamar Johnson just last year. So you already used capital into safety.
Yep.
Edge, they got a few later round guys like Jonathan Cooper's really looked good. I think Metzi, I think he was like a UDFA. He's looked really good. Plus, he still got Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. So I think it's either tackle or quarterback.
Yeah. I don't like really any of the tackles. Good interior work. Maybe King and Green.
Yeah, I mean they could potentially get him because then they will be betting on that he looks good as a tackle since he's going to be this year. So I don't think that's horrible. I don't think that would be a bad pick. I'm just pulling up there. Yeah. If anything, they need help at right tackle though because they got Calvin Anderson, Bobby Massey,
Cross the right, the left tackle. Oh.
and Garrett's a left tackle right now. So I don't know, man. This is definitely the toughest one so far.
You want to just make a random and move on?
You know what? Just pick quarterback, man.
Just
send it in. Just send it in. I think just pick. You know what? Pick Desmond Ridder. Just make it intriguing. Pick Desmond Ridder.
All right. So we're gonna have two inaccurate quarterbacks on the roster. Nice. Good stuff.
They have a type.
Yep. I mean, Elway's in Patton's ear, probably. You gotta get that quarterback with good size, good arm. Go get him. Sorry, Broncos fans. We're sorry.
I'm not. All right, Chargers on the board. Got edge as a need. Tight end, interior defensive line.
Yeah.
Still don't think we're really in the range for interior defensive line yet. You know, I think right at this point you would be reaching, and honestly, only one I could see is maybe Jordan Davis or Perry and Winfrey, but they're not exactly, I think, slam dunk guys. And then obviously at tight end you could look at Jalen Watermeyer or Jaleel Billingsley. So I think it's and then edge, maybe Karlaftis, maybe Myjai Sanders.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of our options at this point.
I want to get Herbert that security blanket at tight end. I know it's probably a reach, but I really like Billingsley, really like Watermeyer. So I'm going to go with Billingsley. I think they get that security blanket at tight end. Billingsley, I think, is in for a monster year. More reps, more targets, more production in the red zone. Very talented.
Yep. Yeah, we'll just hope that he gets his
blocking.
Right. Yeah, his blocking better. And then, I think Nick Saban had a quote about him recently that he wasn't, he's kind of, he has to push him to continue to make him a better player. So hopefully he's taking it and running with that. But yeah, that's a fine pick for me.
New England's picking at 18 here. So since this is probably the case,
I think this would be under the impression that Gilmore or J.C. Jackson don't come back for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Next year. But I want a receiver for him. I want somebody explosive.
I want
for
Garrett
that
Wilson.
offense. Yeah. Garrett Wilson should be the pick here, man.
Yeah. Saints. I think Winston's their guy. I mean, I think the turnovers go down. Winston ends up being the great player we should have seen in Tampa Bay, like like we were really truly hopeful. We were truly believing that Winston was going to be an elite talent in Tampa Bay. He has great talent. It's just the eyes, bro. It's the decision making too. So I like receiver here too. Michael Thomas is rumored to be. I mean, could this be his last year? I have no idea. Marshawn Lattimore is a free agent as well. I think they need that true receiver too. I want to go with Olave.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Olave or Gardner for me, because they. I like Paulson Adebo, man. It's just tough to always pick for the Saints, man, because I just never know what they're gonna do. Like, because they're so confident in their ability to develop players that they will
do it well.
Yeah, and they won't spend a first round pick on a guy unless they really, really like him. So I'm fine with Olave being the pick here.
Yeah. They're on the board. Philly.
Got the quarterback.
So you go get the edge. Go get the guy on the other side. I get they have Fletcher Cox already, but they need someone for the future that can really tout that defensive line. I really like Karlaftis here.
Yeah, I will be fine with that. I think Karlaftis is the guy. Should be the guy.
Oh boy, I hope we don't get fired for this.
The Cowboys. Oh dear God.
I'm going to message Tyler, and if he's, I hope he's watching. Let me message him.
Let's see. We got edge, safety, wide receiver as their needs. What else? Yeah. Let's see. Let's see here. This one is a tough one because edge, there's not really a guy I would say they could reach on and be fine with. Because they got Myjai Sanders, Aiden Hutchinson on the board still. Nick Bonito, Adam Anderson. I don't know if I'm picking them at this point. Safety for me, I mean, the only guy that seems like he'll be a good value pick is Daxon Hill. I really like what he does for Michigan. But yeah, to me, it's between a massive reach at edge or a safety. And I think right now the best safety corner. They just spent so much capital on corner, man. I don't know if they would continue to,
unless they're just god awful again.
I mean, they're picking at a decent spot right now. So they're a playoff team right now,
winning the division. So
you tell me. I'll list off the corners. You tell me if you're comfortable with them or not. So they got Trayvon Diggs, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright. Those are basically the guys at outside corner.
Yeah, honestly.
And then the safeties here they have. I mean, it's Donovan Wilson, Ron Kurtz, then DeMonte Casey, Malik Hooker, who is very injury prone. Let's see. I think Browning is in watching now. So let him see the board. So,
all right, let's show him the board. Show Boss Man the board. So we got Boss. We about went rogue and Pick someone. Could have gotten us fired, but we didn't do that. I think we're thankful that we didn't. Zeke's replacement.
What'd you say?
I said Zeke's replacement. I clicked on Isaiah Spiller.
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if that would go over well. Yeah, that's kind of where we are right now.
Oh Lord,
I have not watched Zion Nelson. No.
me neither. The interior offensive lineman Linderbaum and Green are still on the board. Oh, this is so tough.
I think they desperately need defensive help. The offense is going to be fine. You know,
You reach
it's
for
the
Jordan
defense.
Davis. Do you go back to
He
corner?
said he wants Linderbaum, so
All right, let's go with boss man. Linderbaum. Iowa, baby.
all right. Jets back on the clock.
I don't know if they go tackle. Could they go another corner?
Let's see. I don't know, man.
Those two are
Maybe.
left. Go interior.
Yeah.
Iguanu or Kenan Green. I like Iguanu here.
Yeah, but they just got who they got from this year's draft.
Oh
yeah. So then you'll be basically playing like I don't know. I wouldn't hate getting like a Kenyon Green or somebody like that because like then their offensive line would just be insane, with
you could play Green at right guard.
Back then, who did they just get? I swear it's like in my mind. Elijah Vera Tucker.
Yeah.
They just got him too. Then Edge, I mean, if they get Edge, they're betting on like Myjai Sanders being really good. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, I think, could be a good pick for them.
Yeah.
You can line him up. I think
he can be your Eric Armstead Hutchinson because he was sort of in that role with Michigan, or he is in that role with Michigan. So I think you could probably play him in that Armstead role because now they're playing.
I think you go with Hutchinson here.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think you need to protect Carson Wentz. If the Colts are picking this high, Wentz in the being good again, the Colts weren't able to make it that deep in the playoff, but still made the playoffs, but didn't exactly win the division. So,
so their situation is basically they have Eric Fisher, but he's still recovering from an injury, and then after that, it's like Will Holden and Sam Tevy. So I think it's like they have to address that tackle position.
Oh, look at the corners.
Yeah, they're good corners. I think you probably go if they're picking at this level. I think it's BPA.
Yeah, I want to go Gardner. I want Gardner.
Yeah.
Even though I like Booth a lot, Booth could have been a good pick there. Titans here at 24. You go this high for a linebacker?
I really don't like the linebacker class up top. I think it's a lot of projection guys. you know,
Tight end.
and I that they do need a tight end pretty badly. They do. They just have, I think, right now they have a few blocking tight ends, and then they have can't remember his name, but I studied them this offseason, but he's not exactly dynamic. So
Andrew Booth, though,
with
Booth with Farley. Oh, it's so good.
yeah, but they got Christian Fulton still too.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
And so it will be a lot. Like either you have to trade Fulton or you move him into the slot, but then Elijah Molden's in the slot. So I think that will only be the reason.
They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. So I think you go tight end probably because linebacker is just not it. I don't think it's good. So we go Weidemeyer.
So the Browns, probably the deepest team in the league, but struggle with depth in some areas.
Maybe this is where we have to reach on interior defensive line because that's really the glaring need for them right now, in my opinion. Because they do have Jadeveon Clowney on a 1-year rental. They still got Myles Garrett. So I think Jordan Davis would be the pick.
Miami. Is this where Sanders goes, or do they go after Zion Nelson with Charles Cross?
I kind of like Charles Cross here because I'm just not comfortable with Austin Jackson being their left tackle, man. You know?
Or Greg Little.
Yeah. Like, they got Eichenberg on the right side, and I think he'll just fine for them once he, gets a year experience. So I think I would probably go that direction.
Yeah. Let's go Cross. Should we get Nick in the stream for this?
Edge, man. Just got Odafe Owe last year in the first round. Did they spend another top first round pick on an edge? I don't know.
Corner's a top need too.
Honestly, Trim McDuffie might be really good here, man.
Yeah.
He might be really good for the Ravens.
Yeah. Let's go McDuffie. Let's do McDuffie. Here we go. I honestly think I'm going to go under the assumption that Love ends up being good in 2022. Mm-hmm. So either Nelson or they finally get a receiver.
The thing is, are they going to get a receiver though? That's my only thing. Like, are they actually going to do it?
Probably not.
I just they're pretty.
Curtin Coos can't have his own ego.
You know what will really set the world on fire? Them getting Andrew Booth.
Oh yes.
Jair Alexander, Andrew Booth.
Yes.
I want Booth, man.
Send it in. I'm sending it in. Ooh. I think this is a good place for King and Green.
Yeah. King and Green is the pick here, man. I think.
Detroit.
They need some help. I think receiver. They just if he's landing, you know what? Yeah. We'll do Carson Strong.
Yeah. You can potentially get a franchise quarterback in the back end of the first round after taking your franchise, arguably your franchise player, Kayvon Thibodeau. I like this. Let's do it. Carson Strong. Tampa Bay. Sanders. They're so deep, dude. I don't know. Do you go best player available here? Is Antonio Brown back next year? I don't know.
I don't want to give them a receiver, man. Listen, I need them not to get a receiver for the sake of my own team, man. Both of our teams, actually, because we're both in the NFC South.
Right.
We don't need to load them anymore. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Zion Nelson, because he has. I think
Takes-
I think you just try and continue to bolster the offensive line, because at this point, if they're at 31, that means they went back to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll give them Nelson.
Last pick.
Why is wide receiver a top need for them? I mean,
They got
given them like John Mechie or Treylon Burks would be like a
Tyreek Hill, man. And they just drafted Cornell Powell.
You know what? I'm gonna give them. I think we should give them George Pickens, because they don't really have that receiver that's
that
like
contested catch. Yeah. Or Treylon Burks. He's that type of guy too.
Either one. I would give him Pickens only because it just wouldn't be fair, And I think I think Burks would be. It just will be a lot of moving pieces. You're trying to get Hardman, Hill, still got Kelsey.
Yeah.
And then if you add in Burks, but it's not fair.
It's a fool's errand, man. It's just Chiefs are not fair. Tampa Bay is not fair. It's going to be the Super Bowl all over again. Damn it. San Francisco, you better hope Trey Lance is an elite quarterback in year one, because if he is, you're going to the Super Bowl. You better be going to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, that's right. Philly would have – I think Philly's pick here is San Francisco.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's – no. I think it's Philly's pick there.
Miami's.
Yeah, Miami's.
Yeah.
Miami's.
Yeah.
Because Miami traded down, right? And then they traded back up to 6.
No. Does anyone okay, the Cardinals have a pick in the first round. Okay, I was like, does anyone in the NFC West have a first round pick? Arizona's so far.
First round picks mean nothing to the NFC West as long as they get their guy.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm pretty happy about the result.
So here's the mock draft. Finally got it done. Rattler, Thibodeau, Kirkland, Stingley, Hamilton, Howell, Willis Jackson. Okay. Leal, Ryan. Sorry, Panther fans. Kennard, Neal, Corral, Elam, Joseph, Ritter. That's going to be controversial for sure. Billingsley, Wilson, Olave, Karlaftis, Linderbaum. You're welcome, boss man. Hutchinson, Gardner, Watermeyer, Davis, Cross, McDuffie, Booth, Green, Strong, Nelson, Pickens. That's your mock draft. All right. That is our mock draft. And it took an hour to do. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think that'll finish it up for us here today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week with another live stream. We don't know what we're going to do for that live stream. We may preview college football. We may preview we may go over the NFL preseason. I want one more thing before we go. I kind of want to mention Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson just got a 2-year extension with the Carolina Panthers. Got close to $15 million per year. Not too bad of a deal for Anderson for the type of player he is. That's it. That's sort of where he was going to get paid anyway. He was going to get that 15 APY either way. So I like the Anderson deal. I don't think it affects DJ Moore by any means. Moore is going to be on the Panthers. I think no matter what, they're going to get an extension done with him. Fitter's really done a good job with his word of extending a lot of their key players they've been able to bring back. They've been able to extend Moton. They've now extended Anderson. Now you got to work on DJ Moore and Brian Burns, and potentially, if Darnold ends up becoming a good quarterback somehow, you're going to have to figure out an extension with him. You may have to wait until after that second year of. You may have to wait after that 5th-year option. You may have to franchise tag him. Yeah, I don't know, but I like the Anderson deal. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Do you have any quick thoughts before we go about Anderson's deal?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a really solid receiver for them. You know, him and DJ Moore. So locking in those guys and having them on a roster, you know, past this year, I think is going to be important for whoever, you know, takes the snaps over the next couple of years, whether it's Darnold, whether it's Walker, whether it's somebody else that they may draft or trade for. I think it's smart to lock up a really good receiver. You know, he may not be like, you know, crazy, you know, top, you know, elite receiver, but you still need good receivers, man, you know, to win in this league. So I'm fine with the deal. To me, the only reason I would be upset about it, anybody getting a deal is if it's a major overpay, and it wasn't. So
yeah. If Anderson was getting paid like $20 million a year, I would have problems with it. But
yeah, like if he was getting paid like top 10 money, it would be different. But yeah,
he's getting paid 14.75 million per year. So that's not bad. That's good value for him. That's good value for a receiver like Anderson. So I don't have a problem with it. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.